Ah! Finally! Now I need my add-ons back though. Enable all. Yeah, I always do the tutorial thingy. I always hide it. Wait. Thank you, thank you. Oh, finally! You have to do it a couple of times and then it's gonna work. It's gonna work, you just have to keep trying. Never give up, you know what I'm saying? Never give up. Now it's not gonna crash, I think. Now it should be fine. Hopefully. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, it didn't save what I picked now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Oh, I can do the same shit over and over. Now I'm happy to do this.
They rule over vast swathes
Taliban.
of land, mostly in the countryside. Areas
Yeah,
that
Afghanistan
haven't
got
benefited
like
from the more than
ruined. Like it
$150
was fine before,
billion
but it got
injected by the
screwed.
international community for development projects. Many funds were diverted by the elite and redirected towards the cities.
Crazy.
Emblems of modernity for some, symbols of debauchery for others. They're the last bastion of the
when you
Afghan
first
state
load in,
against the insurgents.
triggers the script,
Havens
you're
of
just
freedom
basically
where
locked in their
citizens can
place.
enjoy pleasures forbidden under Taliban rule,
Yeah.
like trendy barbershops, long walks among
Stupid
girlfriends,
island.
dancing at weddings,
ISIS destroyed on
or launching a kite into the sky.
Didn't the USA do boom boom though?
The
USA and
rebels are at the
Russia
base of even
did
the
boom
country's
boom.
largest cities.
Pew pew pam pam.
And if the negotiations with the government conclude in a power-sharing agreement,
history.
the Taliban could reach their objective, the reinstatement of an ultra-conservative Islamist regime. Less than 2 hours from the capital, Kabul, we enter the valley of Omar Khail.
And level stuff. Is ISIS still a thing or
fighters
they're
have been sent
dead?
to escort us. Officially, they're tasked with ensuring.
Let's see. Oh, the murder of Kim Jong-un's brother. Huh. Bribes for Bulgaria. Oh, Bulgaria. I saw this, I think. I saw everything. There's nothing I can find that I didn't see. Yeah, fuck wars. I saw everything. Arranged marriage. What is this? TED lectures. I can't load this. Oh my. Wait, how does he? Oh, okay. Tibetan. Wait, this is Mongolia. Or I'm not sure. I don't know, where's that?
Hey guys, good afternoon and Tassi from Plaza. And today I'm gonna show you a really interesting thing. That will be the Tibetan wedding in a village. And this wedding ceremony is actually from my sister. And now I'm gonna go for a shopping. So that's a present for my sister. And I'm gonna give her a red packet as well. So that's the
What is
Tibetan
this?
style. Like new, you see.
Wow.
They've changed the carpet new. And there you can see what was
Oh, what is this? Oh! I love these criminal ones. It's called.
They're bringing a
Oh.
dragon back from the
Wait.
Is it too late for us to run? We do not run when our people need us. Find us a way through all those undead.
This?
Hey,
Oh, I didn't see this.
I provide the rocket boots. How about a giant boar?
Ooh, is it the same guy? Why new channel if it's the same?
My daughter's life is at stake.
With the kitty profile picture, yeah. Wait, why in a different one? If it's the same shit.
You need it? I got
Okay.
it. Well, I promise to pay it more.
There is a story channel called Miss Where it tells interesting stories. There's so many good channels like mine.
That ain't right.
I'll watch this. Probably some contract he's not happy with.
Who needs a
He would
giant
rather make a
boar
channel
when
than
we
fight
can
over
do
the old one.
right now? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get back to Grimax. The horde leaves no one behind.
Oh my god, this place sucks. I hate it.
My proprietary invention.
This is a trash bagged game, seriously. What is this? Let's see.
On the Saturday evening of July 23, 2016, 23-year-old dental student Kaylee Sawyer attended a bachelorette party in the small city
Let
of
me
Bend,
subscribe.
Central Oregon. She was seen dancing at the Mavericks bar with her two friends at roughly 10:45 p.m. and was reportedly highly intoxicated at the time. An hour and a half later, at 12:04 a.m., she called her long-term boyfriend Cameron to come pick her up. He said he would, and arrived just 6 minutes later. During the short drive back to their shared apartment, they got into an argument after Kaylee admitted to talking with another guy at the bar.
Oh no, he killed
Cameron
her.
got annoyed and accused her of
killed
flirting with someone else, at which point Kaylee got extremely aggravated
killed
and
her.
asserted
He
he
killed
had
her.
done something similar the week before, and that she hadn't attacked him for it. When they arrived at their Alpine Meadows apartment complex,
relationships
Kaylee was
are
in tears.
stupid.
Her boyfriend told her to take a minute to cool off and went up to their second-story apartment at exactly 12:14 a.m. Kaylee was left in the car with the keys, but by 12:24, she still hadn't come up. Cameron went back down thinking she had passed out, but when he got to his car, it was empty, with the passenger side door left
killed
open
her.
and the keys left on the driver's seat. Cameron tried calling, but her phone rang out, so he sent her a text asking where she was and got a reply within 3 minutes. She told him she was sorry she wasn't good enough for him, and then said goodbye. Assuming she was walking to her friend's house roughly 4 miles away, he got back in his car and drove up and down College Way trying to find her, only because he wanted to drive her to her friends so she wouldn't have to walk in the middle of the night. He couldn't find her, and wasn't aware of her friend's exact address, so he assumed she had arrived at her destination. Cameron then went to sleep, thinking that the best time to talk would be when Kaylee was sober in the morning, but when he tried calling her again at 9 a.m., it went straight to voicemail. Kaylee's phone remained off throughout the day, and her presence on social media abruptly ceased. Her friends and family grew increasingly concerned, and a missing persons report was filed at exactly 7:31 p.m. to the Redmond Police Department. As Kaylee's boyfriend, and being the person she lived with, Cameron was the first to be questioned. He was the last person to see her, and admitted they had gotten into a heated argument on the night she went missing. In most circumstances, this would make someone the prime suspect and the central focus of an investigation. Yet the Redmond police would later testify that they were confident he was innocent.
He was forthright with us the entire time. He allowed us to look at his computer, allowed us to look at his phone, allowed us to look in the car, allowed us to go through the apartment. He was...
That doesn't matter. There was a killer that literally wanted to give her DNA to the police, or was it a he or a she? And it was a killer, and he was so confident, and then they were like, oh, I wanted to give DNA, we're not gonna check him. And then they, the killer was, I don't know if it was a he or she, what the case. Just because someone is confident they're giving you everything doesn't mean they're not, you know. It was like this before. You can't judge by that.
So cooperative from the get-go.
They can act and give you everything you want.
Spouses that have done these similar things that also act obviously cooperative to try to steer us off them. So we weren't ignoring
Doesn't
him,
mean anything.
But it's hard to put into words. You do this long enough, and sometimes you can just tell when almost like the fear or the sadness isn't genuine, you know? And
I think it was him.
you
No, I'm just
truly have
guessing.
idea
I
where
have
she
no
was.
idea. I've never seen
Investigators
this
then
before.
switched their
I'm
focus.
guessing
They wanted to find the identity of the
I'm
man
randomly
Kaylee was
saying
talking to in the bar the night before.
abducted
So the
by
next step
a
was to check
accomplice.
surveillance and interview each of Kaylee's friends that were out with her that night. However, none of this was carried
I am
out,
just
as the very
guessing.
next morning the first lead would emerge. Police officer Isabel Ponce Lara arrived at the Redmond
Oh.
Police Department, stating she had information about the missing girl and that it involved her own
Okay.
husband.
It's like, I kill a woman.
Wait, what?
I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I hit her with the car.
And what did
Oh.
you say to that?
So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you hit her? And he's like, yeah, I hit her and I panic. So then I asked him, like, that's what I was trying for him to explain to me. So you hit her with the car. That's an accident.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean you panic? What do you mean?
Oh no.
And what did he say?
He just kept saying I panic, and at that point he's already, like, he got up and he's already, like, going into the room and walking back and forth. And I'm not really quite understanding what he's telling me. And then he just kept saying, I need to go, I need to go. And then right before he left, he's like, there's her stuff in the shed. It wasn't making any sense to me. But when I saw the stuff, I'm like, oh fuck.
Her husband was 31-year-old Edwin Lara, a campus security guard at Central Oregon Community College. He drove a work-issued public safety vehicle,
Security
which, much like
guard.
a police car, had a partition divider that separated the front and back seats, and the back doors were unable to be opened from the inside. It was just 30 hours after the missing persons investigation was launched, and police now had their prime suspect. All they knew was that he told his wife he had accidentally killed the victim, stole her firearm before fleeing, and was now unreachable, with his whereabouts unknown. The Redmond police then checked the shed that was mentioned in his wife's statement and made a gruesome discovery. Inside a trash bag was Kaylee's purse, clumps of blonde hair, and a large rock that was covered in blood. The evidence disputed
wasn't
the fact
the
that Kaylee had been
boyfriend.
hit with a car. Police came to the assumption that the rock was most likely a murder weapon, and the clumps of blonde hair had been ripped out of Kaylee's head
Rotterdam.
as she was subdued and most likely
I'm,
raped. The Redmond police then switched Kaylee's case
watching
from a missing
criminal
person to a homicide,
stuff.
and her family were made aware that in all
Oops.
likelihood, their daughter was no longer alive. That same evening, at exactly 8:45 p.m.,
Yeah,
19-year-old
criminal,
Andrea May
videos,
walked out to her
like
car
stories.
after working a double shift at a clothing store in Salem, 2 hours north of where Kaylee went missing. She took a quick selfie on Snapchat and was scrolling through her Facebook newsfeed when all of a
Oh my
sudden
God, I
a
love
stranger, armed with a
Snapchat.
gun and wearing a bulletproof vest, opened the passenger side door and got in. He pointed the weapon at her and told her to start driving. Out of fear of her life, she obeyed. He then told her to drive to California, which was a 10-hour journey, but made her pull over after just 1 hour so they could switch seats and he took over the driving. After almost 3 hours, he stopped at a roadside motel in Southern Oregon. He told Andrea to pretend to be his girlfriend, and that if she alerted any suspicion or even made eye contact, he would immediately kill both her and the clerk. The moment he got the keys was captured on surveillance. The clerk would later testify that he knew something was off, as the girl had clearly been crying due to makeup running down her face, and also seemed nervous and fidgety the entire time.
Oh. Oh. Thank you for liking. To be fair, it's almost always the loved ones. Yeah, like the other guy, Chris something.
An example of polymorph. Gloomburst,
Thank you for like Lucky.
explain yourself. I'm merely demonstrating how polymorph is useful in a fight. Your opponent will wander around until you
Once inside the motel room, Edwin handcuffed Andrea to the bed and demanded that she took sleeping pills. She initially refused, at which point Edwin pulled out a syringe and said she could either take them willingly or forcefully. She then swallowed 3 tablets of unknown strength, but was smart enough to warn him that she had an STD and passed out soon after. They left the motel early the next morning before daylight and continued on to Northern California. By the time they got to Wairika, Edwin
Where
noticed the car
California?
was leaking oil, so he pulled over at another motel for the purpose of stealing a new vehicle. Andrea pleaded with him to leave her behind, but Edwin told her she had to come with him, and that if she ran, he wouldn't hesitate to shoot her in the back. They walked up to a middle-aged man unloading his car. Edwin pulled out the gun and demanded the keys, but the man refused and yelled out for help instead, at which point he was shot in the stomach. Edwin then grabbed Andrea's arm and ran from the motel toward the gas station next door. They got to a car carrying a family of 3 people, including an elderly woman. Edwin forced Andrea to get in the back seat as he got in the passenger seat, then held the driver at gunpoint as he made him drive away from the scene. He let the family out 15 minutes later, but forced Andrea into the front seat, despite her continuous pleas to let her go. Moments later, he recorded a video on her phone, detailing who he was and what he had done. He then made her post it to her Facebook page and title it "Murderer on the Loose." Edwin then called his wife and his family, all of whom told him to turn himself in. He then called 911 at exactly 6:52 a.m.
911 emergency reporting.
Yes, hi. This is Edwin Lara, and I'm the guy on Interstate 5. You know, I am wanted for murder in the state of Oregon.
Okay. Edwin, where are you at right now? Can you stop?
I am going to stop once I hit Reading. Once I'm in Reading, I'm going to stop.
Okay, can you tell me where you are right now?
I have no idea.
Are you by yourself or?
No, I have someone with me.
Wait, why is she asking where is he? Can't they like track where the location of the phone call is from? Or I thought they can see where the phone is from. Like it can track. And I don't understand. Is it like some question trick thingy? Oh damn, 6:52. 3:30 p.m. here. Why ask where?
I kidnapped her in Oregon. She's innocent. Her name is Andrea. I'll let her give her last name so you can call her family, okay?
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, what's your name?
Andrea?
Are you hurt at all, Andrea?
No.
No? Okay. Let me talk to Edwin again.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Edwin, you're heading southbound on 5?
Yeah, I'm heading southbound on 5. I'm passing a state trooper, a highway patrol.
Oh.
I'm passing a highway patrol.
Are you able
Scary.
to safely find somewhere to stop?
I'm not going to stop right here. I'm just going to turn myself in Corning. Okay?
Are you going to Corning Police or where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to Corning Police. But I want to ask you a favor.
Uh-huh.
So I have asthma.
You have asthma? Okay.
Yeah, so you can tell them not to be too rough on me because, you know, I can barely breathe right now. All right, so that's all I wanted to say. You know, I don't want
any kind of medical or?
Yeah, well, I think so. I'm going to need my inhaler. I forgot my inhaler at home. You know, I went all over Salem, Oregon looking for an inhaler, but I guess they don't sell it, you know, behind the counter or out of counter. So,
Edwin, how fast are you going?
I'm going about 120 miles an hour right now.
120 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Can you slow down?
Well, I want to make it there quick. That way I can turn myself in.
Well, the officer sees you. We just don't want you to speed away from anything. If you can stop and just give yourself in, it'll probably be easier.
Well, there's an officer behind me right now.
Okay, they see you. We're talking to them. They see you.
Yeah, she's seeing me. I think it's like she's right behind me.
Okay, the officer sees you. And are you able to safely stop?
Yeah, I can stop, but not right now. I'll stop in Corning.
What's the difference from stopping now in Corning?
I just don't want to stop right here in the middle of the road, you know, putting myself in danger and putting everybody else in danger, more in danger, I guess.
And do you have any weapons with you?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I do have a gun on me. I am not going to flash the gun, so you tell them not to shoot me.
Okay.
No, I don't want to die.
Okay, you stick by your word, though. I'll let them know.
Yeah, I'm going to let them know. You know, don't hurt Andrea. You know, she's a nice girl. I am wanted for the death of Katie Sawyer at Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
And I am very remorseful for that.
Way.
Edwin, are you able to stop the officers behind you? They don't know if you're running and stuff.
I'll slow down for them.
Okay, you're gonna slow down?
Yeah, I'm gonna slow down.
Okay.
You know, I don't want somebody else to get hurt.
Good. So are you gonna stop?
Yeah, maybe. I will stop right now. I'm used. You know, I'm shaking up. I mean, I'm shaking.
I understand.
I don't want to get shot. You know, I know this is being recorded, and you know, I just want to say to the family of Kaylee that you know I am sorry. I'm sorry for what I did to her, and in time I will tell them where the body is. You know.
Do you want to
Jesus.
let me know, or just have this recorded where it is?
Crazy people.
No, I remember.
Okay.
So, I mean, hopefully the police officer doesn't shoot me. Okay, I'll let you talk to Andrea.
Okay, are you going to stop?
Yeah, I'm going to stop.
Okay, once you stop, make sure they can see your hands at all time, okay? Don't hang up.
I'm not.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Andrea. Are you okay? You don't need any medical or anything?
No.
Okay, where's his gun at? Does he have it between his legs?
I don't know.
Can you see it? He said he had it between his legs. Is he stopping?
Yeah.
He is stopping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make sure your hands are up too and stuff. I know you're on the phone right now, but just hold your hand up so they can see.
Crazy to be police officer talking on the phone.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on the
I
line
wouldn't
with you
trust
till the officers
myself.
Get there, okay? And you're gonna be okay. Andrea? Does he have his hands up?
Yeah.
He does have his hands up? Okay.
Very professional in this stressful situation. I would never be able to.
He's already walking towards them.
Good professional officer.
Over to your right, away from traffic. Drop down to your knees. Don't move.
It was just after 7 a.m. when Edwin Lara was arrested and taken into custody at the Redding Police Department in Northern California. He was brought into the interrogation room at 1 p.m. It was now exactly 60 hours after Kaylee had gone missing.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
My name is Sergeant Beckwith.
I'm Mac. Wait, I shouldn't introduce myself because you guys know me.
We know a little bit, right? So a couple things. We got some housekeeping items to talk about before we start talking about things. Those are going to be your Miranda rights and your right to counsel. And then I wanted to talk to you, just to let you know where I'm coming from, because it sounds like you've done a lot of good things, even to this point. And so we're not really concerned about the NDA at this point. It's going to be about, finding her. Okay. So, but before we do that, do you have any questions for me on the onset before I?
Good luck at studying Notre Dame. Good luck, good luck, good luck,
I'm going to
good luck,
advise you
good
of
luck.
your Miranda rights and your consular
Have
rights.
fun.
Okay, before we start talking about
Do
things
good.
at all, but as far as questions you
Good
have
luck.
before we get into that, I'm all my cards on the table kind of guy. Okay, I'm not going to come here and try to be all tricky or whatever. Detective McLaughlin's the
Is
same
there
way.
subtitles?
Okay.
Well, all I gotta say is that I want to go home.
Okay.
I'm gonna do everything possible to go home.
Yes, sir. And home meaning Oregon?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course,
Because
go home, right?
yeah, we're working on that as well. Okay. So that's something.
Why would you go home, you murdered bitch?
You want us to notify the consular's office at this time?
No.
Okay. All right, so here's the thing I just want to get to, the nitty gritty. We have not been able to find Kaylee's body. Can you please help me find her body immediately before we start talking about anything else? The reason why I'm asking you that is I've done this a bunch of times.
I want to tell you where the body is.
Yeah.
I do. But I want to get home first.
Okay. So here's what I know about this. Hear me out, sir. We can't change what happened, the three of us in this room. And people will care more about what happens right now than what happened before. So we know that you've been talking to some people, et cetera, right? And because we have different jurisdictions, I can assure you that right now the DA's office is working on allowing us to take you back to Oregon, okay? But they're still working on it, okay? So in the meantime, we need to consider some things, okay? If this information gets to other people, that you were like, hell yeah, I'm gonna tell you, but only until I get what I want, they might try to think of this about something different than what it is.
The suspect has stated his desire to be transferred back to Oregon, where his family is, and will only start talking once this is guaranteed. The detective's response is to induce fear. He starts attacking the suspect's character and alludes to the perceptions of others with regard to his character. This type of approach is typically used at the later stages of an interrogation, as building rapport is most often the main focus this early on. The most common approach at this moment would be for the officer to lie and tell the suspect they will do everything in their power to fulfill the request. However, the most common approach is not always the most effective.
Right? And so what I've determined is, and we've looked at this a bunch of times, is I don't think you're a bad guy.
The detective now elevates the suspect's character by what's known as reframing. He presents a different way of looking at the situation, which puts the suspect in a more favorable light. This is the perfect approach to take at this moment, yet the detective marginally slips up. He appears to get slightly aggravated once the suspect breaks eye contact and reverts back to a mild display of aggression.
Right? I think that things have spun completely out of control, sir. Sir, am I right? Okay.
The detective seems to have a hard time in concealing his disgust and anger. It's a slip of the mask, but fortunately isn't too drastic at this early stage.
But, that being said, you know from your training and your education that we have a massive load of resources right now dedicated to one thing, and that's to serve the victim's family, okay? And they need that, and they need that right now. And so, I need you to remember that it doesn't matter so much about what happened as what you do now.
And you know this, man.
Matt wants to do a map.
So before, can I say the story what happened first?
Yeah, as you're drawing, please, or whatever you'd like to do, sir. Want us to get you out of that stuff?
I wait for now. Yeah.
It says, you'll see it right
buried in the ditch.
Is it buried or?
It's not buried. It's
just in the ditch itself?
Just in the ditch.
Okay, it's outside the highway across from that mailbox. Correct.
You're doing good, Edwin. You know what? This is not easy. I mean, you might be a little bit scared. We're going to hear what you have to say. We really, really want to. I'm thankful, and so is Sergeant Beckwith, that you know what the right thing to do is right now, and that's to help us locate her for her family, for the community, for us, for you, for your wife, all that good stuff, okay? So I'm thankful to you. I want to say that right away, that you hear what this man has to say and that you've got a heart inside of you. And I know, because I was in your house. I saw the Bible. I know you thumb through it a lot. I see that you've tithed for months consecutively. I know you have God in your heart, okay? And that's just not a trick. That's eternal, right? You know that. Now, I'm not talking about this moment. I'm talking about the big picture.
Kappa.
And so I appreciate your honesty.
You have a good heart.
What happened, man? What happened? Like the straight up, what happened?
So I was putting the signs up where there was an event on there.
What's it called?
Cyclists. You know, I was in a hurry because I wanted to get out of it. And I was going to turn south on College Way on the D4 line. So I was going to turn south on the Navajo area.
It's worth noting that investigators had already come up with their own detailed account of what most likely happened, which was that Edwin offered Kaylee a ride, and that she trusted him because of his occupation and the vehicle he was driving. Once she got in, he drove to a secluded area, raped her, and then murdered her with the rock that was found in his shed. They will entertain his version of events to start with, but then push for further admission once they attain his baseline narrative.
Monster.
And I didn't see her, she was wearing all black. So I was in a hurry, so it was my fault. And I wasn't expecting anybody, you know, at that time of night, so I just turned and I mean, I didn't hit her that hard. I used bumper with the truck on, bumped her with the front rack. And she fell down. And at first I thought, you know, first thing I was, oh, I killed her, you know, but I didn't hit her that hard. So I got off the car and she was really drunk. And
No,
then
he's a
she looked
psycho.
at me,
He's a monster
and
psycho.
she started screaming.
She started screaming at you.
She did.
Doesn't deserve to live. Monster.
Panic, and I grabbed her by the throat and told her, shut up, shut up, shut up. She passed out, put her on the back of the patrol car, drove her up the B12 lot, and then I was panicking, I didn't know what to do. She already seen me, she saw my face, so I opened the door, and that's when she came back. She started screaming again, so I grabbed her and pushed her home. And I was telling her, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. She was just struggling to scream. So I threw her down and I hit over a rock on the head.
On the horizon, one of our gunships.
After that, I dragged her body
Yeah, you see psycho.
behind a tree there. I hit her with another rock. And that's when I think she died because I heard her breathing, her last breath.
He goes on to state that he left her body in the deserted parking lot, goes home to wash his clothes, drives back with his personal car, wraps her body in a plastic sheet, and puts her in the trunk.
So what happened?
That's what
next?
psychos do now. He killed her,
So
drags the body.
I drove her to.
Now, just because he's acting like, it's all acting, he doesn't care.
And she was kind of heavy, you know.
Now he's just acting,
So I just grabbed her and
So they have like,
everything off
they
her,
feel bad
put her
for
down,
him and it's not that
threw her
bad.
in the ditch.
It's
He
not
goes
that
home,
bad. No,
but
he's a
then
psycho,
returns
doesn't
soon
care.
after to move the body to a more secluded location.
You know, and at this time I was feeling really bad, you know, 'cause
If your intent isn't already there to do some kind of harm or some kind of evil to her, some friggin' evil that's there, bro, it's there. You just gotta face it down, man. You can't cower away from it. You face that damn thing down right now. If you know the only way, if you don't have intent in her head,
Thought
your
you
thought
were
is, I
about
gotta
maybe.
keep that phone away from her
Maybe,
because she's gonna
to be
call them out
honest.
before anything bad's even happened. You've already made a decision. Am I right or am I wrong? Help me.
So I made the decision at that time to silence her.
To kill her. Let's be real. When you say silence her, you mean kill her. Is that correct?
Because
When did you make that decision?
when she started screaming, because she had seen my face.
But you already grabbed her phone. You already kept her away from making a call for help or contacting someone. So you're already preserving yourself. So I'm
He
thinking
keeps
like
lying.
before, when you ask for the purse, I think you already know in your head, I'm going to silence her. I'm going to kill her. Why else would you ask?
So when she gave me her, like she had her phone, because I knew her phone was back, like it just clicked on my head. So I told her, give me the purse. So she hands over the purse and I'm like, your phone is not in here. And she goes, yes it is. So I start digging in the purse with this hand and I find the phone and it's there. So, and you know, very relieved, but at this time she's struggling with the door and I'm telling her, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
You know why you felt relieved when you found that phone? You know why? Tell me why you felt
She
relieved.
wasn't calling her up
And she was never gonna get away.
because she hadn't seen my face already.
I'm sorry to see your face.
No, he's lying. He lied before already. What do you mean? He's not thinking well under pressure. He lied on purpose. That he accidentally hit. That it was by accident, and then it was not by accident.
From the moment
Then it found out it was
when
not
I
by. He
knew
was
that
lying
she
on
was
purpose. It's not like he can't think.
And she's gonna tell. She's gonna say something.
He lied
If I
couple
let
of
her
times
out of the
already.
She's gonna go say, hey, you know, security guard raped me or something.
Oops, by accident, and then they admit, oh, it was
Do you
actually
have
by accident.
dominion over a woman?
Dominion?
Mm-hmm. Dominic,
He is lying,
is there anything about her life that
so he
means less
doesn't get a
than
bad
yours?
punishment. What do you?
Okay.
But you told us earlier when you were trying to carjack people in Salem. You wanted to.
That's on purpose.
Weaker woman because I knew a guy was gonna fight me and I didn't want to kill him.
He's changing versions. Yeah, he's changing. It's not like he can't think. He's doing on
what I'm getting at
purpose.
with that
He's a
question is
psychopath. He's lying.
At some point or another, something as minor as an offensive comment, are you a hooker?
You think he's that like dumb
honestly,
and like that?
What we approach there is
He's not innocent. He's doing on
possibly
purpose.
using your
He's a
job for
psycho.
offending somebody. Okay, people are offended every day. People lose their job.
It's
for
an
offending people every
act.
day. That all
Look
of
at
a
his
sudden
face.
became more important than the life of a human being that you say is equal.
I think
This is a very bizarre set of questions, especially considering what the detectives are trying to achieve. They are attempting to get the suspect to confess to first-degree murder with special circumstances, along with rape in the first degree. By attacking his character like this, and alluding to his supposed warped view on women, he will be unlikely to give further admission. It's more likely to get his guard back up and make him focus on preserving what he has left of his reputation. The detectives should instead be downplaying the crimes. They should be reframing his motives as both understandable and uncontrollable, almost as if premeditated rape and murder could be committed by anyone on a bad day.
He's stupid. He can't decide what version he
thought that I
wants.
was gonna do something.
Be on purpose, don't you? Why would someone be like, "Oh, I hit on accident"? So he gets the by accident and not on purpose, and only later. Okay, after some pressure. Okay, yeah, I lied. I did on purpose, and this. Oh, there was this. Actually, that would happen.
Pick her up.
Changing stories.
Were your intentions?
Because he thought they were dumb. He thought they were stupid.
People look up to you. Was your intent to find some way to help her?
And now
Or
he's
was your
admitting.
intent to find a way?
But he lied on purpose. He is lying, constantly lying.
Things went south. You knew you had to kill her.
He's not stupid. He's a psychopath and a liar. He's not stupid or dumb and oops, by accident.
Once again, instead of
Sorry,
downplaying
wrong
the crime,
version. I'm just
he lays out
stupid.
the
No, he's
scene
not
in a blunt
stupid.
manner.
He's
He
smart
makes his
and he
disgust at
knows
the
what
alleged
he's
conduct
doing.
Far too noticeable, when he should
He
be
has
remaining indifferent
intentions.
at minimum. Some investigators would even be able to feign companionship and sympathy at this moment, which would significantly increase the likelihood of further
He has
admission.
intentions. He's not just stupid.
When
No,
I
he's
picked
not.
her up, because usually when we help someone,
He's smart.
on the radio.
Did you call her on the radio?
No, because I thought she was a hooker, and when I realized she was a hooker, I felt discovered. Oh,
And he has bad instincts.
now she's gonna go tell the whole world that I was looking for sex.
No, not smart like this way. Smart is like,
to be looking for sex. See what I'm saying? And that's not.
I did wrong.
For sex.
My bad. That was the wrong guy. I just don't remember, No, he knows what happened. He knows. He's just lying. He constantly lies. Not smart is like, if he was smart, he wouldn't have been even caught. If he was smart.
So are we lucky?
Smart people don't get caught, okay?
First time,
No.
you can't control
Like this way.
your urge
He's
to have sex
aware.
with a woman. We catch you.
The sound that you heard after the strike of the first rock.
He's not a silly
before you hear what your
goose.
second is agonal breathing, and you know this. It's the sound of life leaving her body. It's the sound of the life God breathed into her, leaving her, and her life being no more.
Wait,
Go
I thought that
away.
was mine. That's
You
hers. Wait, where's
It's the sound
mine?
of everyone
Oh,
loving
she's
her.
here.
You
Oh
know?
my god.
It's the sound of her blood crying out from the friggin' earth. Right? You know this. You need to hear it though. Okay? I respect you enough, Edwin, at this point, that I've asked you for detail, and now I'm going to give you my own.
And the only
Those
reason
are the
he's
points.
crying is because he got caught. He doesn't cry about the victim. He doesn't fucking care. He cries that he got caught and now he's gonna suffer consequences.
Hard facts. Does God still love you? Will he forgive you? Will he bring you back into his heart? Will he?
This is actually quite a good strategy, as the suspect is highly religious, yet the focus should be kept on this element as opposed to the magnitude of the crime, which the detective for some reason continues to incorporate into the dialogue.
Questions you have to answer for yourself. But the truth of the matter is that her blood cries out, man. That her life is gone. It will never be replaced. The truth of the fact is this: what you mistook for a hooker was an absolute angel, was the apple of her mom and dad's eye, was the breath that they breathed, that they spent and cultivated all their life raising and growing. And she is gone forever, with your semen all over her.
Although the detective's approach is somewhat miscalculated, this is a highly revealing moment, as there is no denial whatsoever from the suspect about his semen being on the victim.
That's the truth, man. Okay? It's brutal. It's hard to say.
He raped
and
killed.
Here, but you gotta face it before you can look your God in the eye and ask for that forgiveness and be able to receive
another mage in a rouge.
The investigators get no further admission from this moment on. This enabled the suspect to eventually take a plea deal in order to avoid the death penalty in 2017. They needed a confession of either rape or attempted rape to remove any sort of leverage from his defense. His sentencing hearing commenced on January 22nd, 2018.
This morning, 32-year-old Edwin Lara pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and the death of 23-year-old Kaylee Sawyer. This plea deal means he will avoid a possible
Why am I
death
doing
sentence.
this?
Amy Fraser is live in Bend, where she's been at that hearing. Amy?
What is
Well, Kaylee Sawyer's family and friends have packed
I can't. This mother's not doing this for today. No
There's
way.
been both tears and intense
I can't
anger
do
as
this
they tell the
anymore.
judge how Kaylee's murder has impacted their lives.
No,
At about
fuck
9:30 this morning, 32-year-old Edwin Lara pleaded guilty to one count.
2 minutes. Be back.
Intruders! You will be our next sacrifice. Intruders! You will be our next sacrifice.
And that's why I always bet on the Horde. Let's scram!
intruders. You will be our next sacrifice.
And that's why I always bet on the Horde. Let's scram!
Wait, why am I dead? No, I said be right back. No. Fuck. Oopsie. Okay, let's continue.
Of aggravated murder. He went on a multi-state crime spree, kidnapping a woman in Salem and then driving to California, where he's accused of shooting a man and then carjacking a family before being caught. This morning, Kaylee's grandfather told the court he has 3 wishes.
Number 1, to have our Kaylee back with us, alive and well, and pursuing her life. Number 2, I'd wish to have this piece of garbage, the defendant, sentenced to death for what he's done to my Kaylee. And number 3, I wish the court system in the state of Oregon would just hand him over to me and allow me to administer the death sentence.
Kaylee's mom also spoke today, calling Laura a monster. More family and friends will speak later this afternoon. The judge is expected to sentence him later today or tomorrow. We just found out a little while ago that the judge has sentenced Edwin Lara to spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of release, without the possibility of parole. In July of 2016, Kaylee went for a late-night walk. Lara, who was working as a security guard at Central Oregon Community College, lured and trapped her in the back seat of his patrol car. Prosecutors say he took her purse and phone and drove her to a remote parking lot on campus. Prosecutors say he sexually assaulted her, and Kaylee fought for her life. Lara then, we're told, used a large rock to kill her and then dumped her body off a highway near Redmond. Now, just before being sentenced today, Laura addressed Kaylee's family and the court.
God Almighty, who art in heaven.
Shut up, cunt. What a moron. Look at him. What a clown. What a clown. Shut up.
All along, Kaylee's family has said they want her to be remembered for the joy and the love that she brought to life. They say justice is now served, but it doesn't.
But they said he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life.
In prison, without, we're told, any chance of ever getting out. Reporting live in Deschutes County.
They said he's gonna be there for the rest of his life, though. Get wrecked. He's gonna be there forever now and can't do anything.
We have other rituals to oversee. Savor the final moments of your life.
They're bringing a dragon back from the dead?
Get wrecked.
We do not run when our people need us. Find us a way through all of those.
For being a murderer, he's sure concerned about being shot or dying.
I provide the rocket boots. How about...
Gonna have to introduce myself, you guys know me.
Whatever you do.
What was his name? Wait, why?
My daughter's life is at stake. Ready to make some gold? Well, I promised a giant pour. Now we just gotta deliver.
He got wrecked in the ass. Okay. Well, they said he's going... I don't know name. I have no idea. Where's the video's name? But they said he's gonna be there for the rest of his life.
Hello, and welcome to the Doc Exchange.
What is this? I have never followed Michael Jackson. I don't care about this pedophile. Wait, what do you mean?
Now that's what I'm talking about. Let's get back to Grimax. We won't rest until the...
They never said life sentence. They said he's gonna be in the jail for the rest of his life with no parole. They never said life sentence. Maybe he did, but no. They didn't say life sentence, but there's a thing called multi-life sentence based on number of felonies. Ah. But they said he's forever in jail, forever. For the rest of his life. For raping and killing.
Mother, I failed.
Get
Hang on, shooter.
wrecked, and then he's gonna go to hell as well later. Walk free? It depends. I think it just depends. It's just what they said. Hopefully they are right that he will be for the rest of his life in jail with no parole or getting out.
The Horde is strong, not when we fight alone, but when we stand united. Now, tell me what's happened here. We must, as you command. The ogres are using...
This is my last time for today doing this. Oh my god. Last time. The case. What is this one? It's interesting.
On the afternoon of June 9th, 2007...
Then what? I might play a bit of Valorant or something on CSGO. I did very good progress today. I can continue with Lore Master, I can do raids, but I take a bit of a break after doing that. So I might play CSGO or Valorant.
We must rescue the others.
17. 26-year-old environmental sciences student Yingying Zheng was
Lots of
traveling on a
progress
bus
though.
to an
Oh my god.
off-campus apartment complex
I'm
in
dying, my
Urbana,
brain is
Illinois, where
fried.
she was planning to sign a new lease for an apartment. She was running late and
To
sent a
switch
text
up for
message to the
today.
leasing agent to inform them that she would arrive just after 2 p.m. After riding on one bus, she exited and tried to transfer to another, yet mistakenly waited on the wrong side of the street for boarding and missed it. She walked to the next bus stop a few blocks away at the corner of North Goodwin Avenue, where surveillance showed that a black Saturn Astra passed her by at exactly 2 p.m. It then circled back around and stopped where she was waiting at 2:03 p.m. She spoke to the driver for approximately 1 minute and then got in the car before it drove away.
Dispel the foul magic that binds me here. I attempted to bring an end to these
And now it's like, oh, hi, hello.
but the ogres ensnared me.
Wait, what's happening? The car? Oh no.
The leasing agent sent her a text message at approximately 2:38, but received no reply. As the hours passed, Zheng's friends, aware of her errand and expecting her to return quickly, grew increasingly worried, and a missing persons report was
I'm
filed
never
to
going
police
outside
at
ever
exactly
again.
9:24 p.m. that night. The University of Illinois helped coordinate search efforts on and around campus. Yin Ying's family flew into the U.S., and a reward of $50,000 was offered for information leading to her whereabouts, but the local authorities received received no leads. It was on the 12th of June, however, when the FBI discovered the surveillance footage capturing Yin Ying's last known location. They were unable to discern the license plate number of the vehicle from the footage, yet they were able to determine that there were 18 four-door Saturn Astras registered to owners in the state of Illinois. One of the owners was 27-year-old Brent Allen Christensen, a PhD student at the University of Illinois who had graduated with a master's degree in physics and who had been married for 4 years to his high school sweetheart, Michelle Zortman. Investigators interviewed him on June 12th and inspected his car. When questioned, he reportedly claimed that he did not remember what he was doing at the time of Yin Ying's disappearance, but also stated he was most likely sleeping or playing video games. The police took his contact information, and he was released after just a 9-minute interview and a 5-minute inspection of his vehicle. 2 days later, upon reviewing the surveillance footage, investigators observed that the car's sunroof was similar to that of Christensen's, but more notably that the vehicle in the surveillance had a cracked hubcap, as did the vehicle of Christensen, and who at that moment became the prime suspect. He was called in by police in the late hours of Wednesday night, June 14th, requesting that he come in to discuss what they stated was an important matter regarding Yin Ying's disappearance. Christensen agreed, and an FBI investigator picked him up from his home and drove him to the Champaign Police Department at around 12 a.m.
I'm trying to think.
What?
24 hours.
There's no subtitles. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow, this changes it. Like I said, you're home. My name is Anthony Manganaro. I'm a special agent with the FBI. I'm assigned here at Champaign. And then this is Eric?
Yeah, Detective Eric Stuyvesant.
Detective with University Police, okay. We are investigating the disappearance of Ms. Ying. Because we are in my offices and it's late at night, I'm going to read you your advice of rights, okay?
Hey, Golden,
again,
how are
this is a
you?
voluntary interview, so at any time you're done, we'll drive you back home. That's the end of it. So I know that you spoke with my colleague Joel. I've briefly been able to talk to him. We've been kind of running all over the state. So if you can kind of give me a recap of what you told him, I would appreciate it. Our investigation, as I'm sure Joel probably told you, is the disappearance of this woman, this young lady, and the most viable tip that we had referred to a black Saturn Astra. So that's why he came to talk to you the other day. Do you remember what you told him? And I'm not going to hold you to it if there are certain details you forget.
So they came...
The suspect had just been read his rights and essentially made aware that he is now a suspect, yet instead of confronting the situation and demanding why he is being put in such an uncomfortable position at such a late hour, he calmly accepts and responds in a non-adversarial manner. Imagine yourself in his position. You have nothing to do with this young woman's disappearance, yet you are being hassled and even accused by police in a passive yet blatant fashion. You would most likely demand to know exactly why you were being questioned in such a manner, and exhibit some form of protest or objection at the current circumstances.
They were just checking out all of the Saturn Astras in the area.
Just doing this and watching videos at the same time, because this is now it's this. I can't.
He asked where my wife and I were during, I think it was 2 to 3 on Friday, and I mean, I graduated a couple weeks ago, so I'm looking for jobs right now. So, I mean, I was either playing video games on my computer or taking a nap. So
playing videos.
I was unable to produce an alibi. I looked into certain things to try and see if I could get some kind of info for an alibi. I sent some texts around that time, but none exactly between 2 and 3.
He stated that he was looking for texts that he may have sent during the time in question for the purpose of producing an alibi. Yet he was clearly unaware that police would later confirm that he was not playing video games at any point during the day in question either. Even
another
when offline,
liar?
digital forensics are able to uncover
Why
the
everyone
exact time a
liars?
game was played and how long it was played for, which is far easier to determine on a computer than it is on a video game console like a PlayStation or Xbox. This wouldn't have completely refuted his alibi, as the suspect was smart enough to provide two possibilities. The narrative that he could have been sleeping at the time would still have credibility.
I let them come in the apartments. They searched for stuff. I let them come in the car. They searched for stuff there.
Show me your Steam account. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
They probably checked computer, to be honest. Yeah, 100%.
Masters in physics. Physics, yes. Wow,
Played hentai Nazi game
smarter than me.
on Steam for 2 hours.
I'm assuming that's over at the U of I there? Yes. Okay. You said your wife was out of town.
Yes.
The guys mentioned something about Wisconsin. Is that correct?
Always,
Okay.
it's always the married men.
Do you know what days she was in Wisconsin?
Why is it always the married men? Always.
You mentioned that you
What's
thought
up with
you
these
possibly sent
motherfuckers?
text messages between, the hours of 2 or 3, so you weren't able to find any.
That's correct.
Do you recall any text message they sent?
No.
Oh yeah, there were one. I actually left. Well, they didn't look through the phone, but I was showing texts on my phone.
Show my
Like,
Steam
someone
account.
sent me a text at like 1:30.
I have some nice games there.
At
Very nice games.
5 or something like that. So, there are texts around it.
Yeah, but maybe not.
Not exactly between 2 and 3, and that's why I think I was probably lying down and sleeping, just because, like, especially now, I typically do stuff in the morning for jobs, for review, and like, I lie down to sleep, wake up, respond. It definitely fits.
Okay. Was that kind of pattern of kind of looking for jobs, kind of having a little relaxation after graduation, was that typical of the entire week prior?
Looking for unfamiliar patterns in both the suspect and the missing person's behavior is routine procedure in a missing person's investigation.
no.
The question is posed to the suspect in a delusive manner, as anything he says at this point will not be taken at face value.
shut up,
The investigators
guys.
will be relying solely on forensics and witness statements to determine any shifts in behavioral patterns during the week in question.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember specifically if you sent any applications out online or if you visited any places
On Friday.
throughout the week?
Throughout the week? I haven't had any in-person interviews. I had a phone interview on Thursday. And...
Anything on Friday? Okay. Do you have any questions for me before...
Why am I under suspicion? Is it just my car, or is there anything else?
I mean, that's
anyone.
a large portion. I mean, it is a very unique car.
Yeah, the one
like
was
I
a
said, our search
psycho.
warrant is just
Because
for
he
the
was
car.
raping the woman, and then he started killing her, and then he dragged her body and hid the body.
With a very rare car.
Yeah.
That's psycho
The
shit
suspect
here.
cannot be detained at this moment and has just showed the first sign
It
of
was
contention.
full-on
The first direct confrontation is yet to
continuing
take
action.
place, and detectives will always plan for it to be initiated by
Continuing
them.
of
For this
psychopath
reason,
action.
the lead investigator switches the suspect's focus to a less confrontational matter in order
Because
to
it
put him
was
at ease before the
continuous.
first confrontation
So just, like,
begins. The detectives want to induce anxiety in the suspect, but it needs to be done at the right
raping
time to
her
have the
and
most
killing
advantageous
her.
effect.
How long were you at
And
the
dragging the body and hiding it.
No, I did my undergrad at UW Madison.
It was
I
not
came here in 2013.
car crash
I
or
was
car
interested in the
quick
PhD
car
program,
miss
but I decided I didn't
by a
do
second, where you crash by second.
Um,
Only psychos do that.
It's alright.
Not too bad.
It's alright.
Do you meet your wife
The
there,
actions
or-
did not take
we,
1 second.
actually
He knew what he
grew up in
was
the same
doing,
hometown, didn't really know each other until
and he was a psycho.
So we both moved to Madison when I went to undergrad.
Cool. Do you have any questions here?
Yeah, when we were talking about
just
Friday,
without the killing, even just raping the woman, first of all, he kidnapped her, raped her, killed her, dragged the body, and hid the body. Just the rape is a psychopath. So doing all of that continuous actions, of course he's a psychopath. Just from raping. And he kidnapped her.
the day in question on the night.
Do you think?
Can you remember?
No.
You said you.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Is it just between the time period that he's asking about, or just literally all day?
Literally all day. At the moment.
Because I see it from the actions.
Talking to too many people.
Psychopaths can act.
And the girl I talked to, she was busy.
They can act. So they don't get that bad consequences. Just from doing these actions.
Did you do a cruise in campus or anything?
I did on Saturday, but I mean, being a little stir crazy, just decided to go for a drive.
And he was doing it, and this shit took time.
No, I didn't go to.
And it was action after action.
Whenever two investigators
This
are
is not
conducting
a
an
psychotic,
interrogation, they
crazy
will always
behavior.
decide which one of them will be initiating the confrontation beforehand. Experienced investigators are often familiar enough with nonverbal cues that even a slight pause or look will be enough to signal the start of the encounter.
Psychopaths manipulate and act. Because they don't have emotions, so they manipulate.
That we didn't bring you all the way up here.
It can be anyone.
Video games. Once you have lunch that day.
Yep.
And it gets proven by actions.
Because the car I own was seen picking up a girl that's missing.
The confrontation is initiated in the form of a question, and the suspect is put on the spot. Instead of responding to the confrontation with a confrontation of his own, which is a common reaction for a truthful subject, he tries to give a justifiable reason as to why he is being questioned without acknowledging the severity of that same element. He's trying to avoid the confrontation.
So who was driving that car other than you on Friday night? On Friday the 9th. You're driving your car on the 9th, weren't you?
Does anybody else have access to that car?
No one has access to that car. Okay.
So how many sets of keys do we have in that car?
2.
And where were they on the Friday?
I would have had one, my wife would have had one.
And hers were in Wisconsin, right? Yeah. And what do you keep on that keychain? You keep both sets of keys, right? One for the Camaro, or you have separate sets?
Doesn't have subtitles.
I have one keychain, but sometimes I take the Camaro keys off of it. So.
Now,
Okay, blah 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 blah.
Trouble telling Asian people.
I can't without subtitles. Like,
well, you
I wanna
remember
try
this
hard.
very specific though, because when you pulled up to her, you rolled your window down, she leaned into your car, so you were
Feels
looking right at her
uncomfortable
face.
without
And what did she have on her face? What did she have on her head? You were looking right at her. You don't remember?
No, I mean, even so, I taught many semesters here, and a lot of the students were Asian.
Was she wearing glasses?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did she have a ball cap on?
The detectives continue to inquire over the missing person's appearance in the hopes that the suspect will give them an accurate response. If they can ascertain that the suspect's memory is clear enough to accurately recollect what clothing an individual was wearing at a particular time, it will enable them to cut through claims of a poor memory when inquiring into separate matters that occurred during that same time period. If the suspect is guilty, it would be in his best interest to continue to assert that he can't remember. He has already stated that she was Asian and had poor English, yet these general details are far easier to remember than